actually use the Google Translate a lot to read signs, and then also like when we went to Katsuma, I guess the developer of Earthbound hung out there a lot when he was making money. And the guy in there, they were closed, and the guy didn't speak English, so Dylan would type in English what he wanted to say, and then he translated to Japanese on his phone.
The Google Translate's pretty awesome for travel.
Oh yeah, I kicked ass at that game. I don't know how, but like destroyed.
Thanks, sir.
I got double S.
I got a B. That's worse than double S.
That's worse than a lot of things. It's also worse than S and A.
It moves faster, or maybe it's comparable. I don't take damage when I'm in mist form. The amount of MP it costs isn't really relevant. Immunity to curse, which is nice. You guys can curse you. Dude, it's so good, Spiky. The Theater Rhythm arcade game. I'll post the video.
Oh yeah, I got a
gotta
nice
stitch it
video
together.
of him rocking out. He's got the
The tracking for it is way better too, since you're using 2 buttons. They can do much faster beats. So like the tracking that they did for Man with the Machine Gun is pretty straight up. Let me know if that helped with the mic volume there, Serp. Thank you for the help.
You need to learn how to project.
You have to be careful.
It's a D20! Oh,
you have to be careful projecting when you're that close to the microphone.
Right, I know. It can, like, blow out their eardrums.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. I've done that a couple of times. Sorry, guys.
No worries.
One of the students I was talking to in that class asked if I was familiar with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I said yes, but not as familiar as Dylan.
What was the purpose of him asking?
I don't know. They were just at the end there. They were just curious about like my interests.
What kind of nerdy shit you're into?
Yeah, I told them we'd seen Doctor Strange, and that you could kindly tell me all the little inside jokes, and that I really liked Agent Coulson.
Coulson. You're right the first time.
I think that's what I said. I love him.
He's a great character. He reminds me of the protagonist from Twin Peaks.
Yeah. Every time. Oh, and they asked, because they saw the BB-8 pillow, and I was telling them they asked what I thought about K2, was that his name?
Yeah, K2SO.
So they reminded me of Marvin.
She was doing interviews with a high school class today. That's what she's referring to.
And Ben showed up.
He's so soft. You didn't have a cat hype song to play.
I know. It's okay.
Yeah, having to double tap and like double swipe in the arcade version of Theater Rhythm. I hope we get a version for it for console. I don't think they could ever put it on 3DS without complicated. It was hard, right?
Yeah.
You saw the track.
Yeah.
In the video you got, did you get much of the actual track? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll put it on YouTube. I have to go through all our Japan videos and stitch them together. Probably do that this weekend with some of the other stream stuff. Whoa! Heck yeah. It sounded like every high school asked you about Big Bang Theory.
Yep.
You had a very politic response. Don't think it's changed much.
Yeah, like, I don't know. The show, it just seems to have gotten worse.
Yeah, it's...
In my opinion.
It's very much laughing at nerdy people and not laughing with
But
nerdy
I'm
people.
so glad it's a popular show.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I would like nerds.
Probably more...
We want
good than
nerds
bad.
to be in that part of pop culture.
I think nerds have won pop culture pretty decisively now, right?
Right, but like nerdiness should be depicted in other forms besides video game conventions.
Oh, I'm not talking about conventions. I'm talking about like normal stuff, like the big action blockbuster movies are all Marvel comic book movies.
Yeah, I don't know if I call that science nerdiness.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. You're talking specifically about science.
Yeah, like physics.
Sure.
They need a show about physics. Okay, so let me put it this way, like, Big Bang Theory is to me as probably Grey's Anatomy is to doctors.
Okay.
Right? Like, you don't have to like Grey's Anatomy, but you can appreciate that it's a popular show.
Sure.
And...
Or House.
Yeah, or House, exactly.
Yeah, you remove the laugh track from Big Bang Theory,
It's
and
cringeworthy.
it's pretty bad. I hear your point, though. It helps to humanize physicists. It's not this, like, you're all going to work with lab coats on,
Right.
you know. Kingstone, what's that?
Propagable,
+10.
the fact that you even have to ask that question and it's not immediately obvious is just one of my biggest pet peeves about that movie. They underutilized her scienciness! Right? The fact that she's a scientist is never relevant. Ever! Except as like this throwaway, oh, she also has brown hair. Oh, that's so much.
Yes, physicists need scrubs. We need to have something that's like Big Bang Theory, but the quality of scrubs. Like, Scrubs did a great job with that, right?
Thanks, Chaos Factory.
You realize that medical residents are people. Like, yeah, they're really pushing the Sheldon marketing.
Right, and as he does that, he becomes more and more of a caricature. Like,
Right, the Flanderization problem.
my dad likes to call me Sheldon whenever I say something nerdy or correct him. Like, no, actually, atoms are made of protons or something. Like, okay, Sheldon. Hey.
Yeah, it's an insult.
I would actually think that the people on that show that I most like is Leonard.
There are a lot of people that are like Sheldon. I don't know, though. Like...
You don't
Like, I guess
do not name names.
No, I'm not... No.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
I'm the one that has to make those warnings. Sure.
Alright, very good. But yes, there are lots of people like Sheldon.
My point, though, is that the tone of the show... I don't know, like I said, it feels like it's laughing at rather than laughing with. Right?
Right, whereas like Scrubs, when he gets on his back and goes, Ego! Like, you know, you're not laughing at it. You're like, oh man, I wish I was riding around screaming evil.
There's Sheldon types that are depicted in The Office in Scrubs, but it's done from a very loving perspective. If that makes sense. It doesn't feel like ridicule.
Alright, I'm gonna take a nap.
Okay, bye, Andrea.
Have fun. May your frames be green.
Thank you. Yeah, Omnicrom, I'm a little distracted at the moment, sorry. Having stream difficulties. It's a good way to put it, Polarisky. Yeah. Alright, let's see. Save. And start checking out the stuff over here. Don't think I need a guide anymore? Question mark? We'll see. I mean, they've got tons of places on the map I can explore. Hold on, I think this is Comcast calling me. I'm gonna pause the clock here. Whoever it was hung up immediately. Nothing you really need to know, Polabruski. You might actually have an easier time playing it with the keyboard rather than with the gamepad. At least it doesn't like the Xbox One controller too much. It's very good though, you should play it. Great. They might call again here soon. I'll keep an eye out for it. My phone's not right. Let's see it here. Hey, Beelzebub. I use this sprite in my D&D game. Cool effect. Like I made a boss that was like a torso, 4 limbs, and a head that you could target independently, so it was cool that since the sprite is already set up to work that way, I was able to remove different parts of its body as they destroyed it. Really cool. You have better, like, climbing ability or shit about the axe in here. I don't know if the flies count as damage to him. I think you have to hit his body. Which is rough at this point, right? Ouch. Try doing the bat attack maybe. How much damage it does? Probably not a lot. Oh, Darkest Dungeon's the best. What didn't you like about it? I think the way you approach Darkest Dungeon is pretty important to your enjoyment of it, though. Like, if you go in expecting it to be Final Fantasy, you're going to have a very bad time. I'm glad it has that little... I'm going to die in this fight. It's okay. Be ready for the next attempt. There's a little, like, disclaimer when you start the game, like, you're going to die in this. Just accept it. Not enough damage. Yeah, I'll come back here with the axe next attempt. Oh yeah? Alright, let me see if I can turn the game volume down a hair. 1 second. I think I had to turn it up for another game. PS3 games are generally quieter. Yeah, I know, right? I played quite a bit of Darkest Dungeon on the plane flight to and from Australia, and I think I've only ever had one person die when I played that game. Yeah, you shouldn't play as aggressively. It's all about not overextending yourself. Like, you want to spend a lot of time in the short dungeons early on with plenty of supplies before you start trying out medium or long length dungeons or higher difficulty dungeons. Yeah, that makes sense. Is one of these an axe? Let's see. Oh, there's an axe on my way there. There we go. I should probably not use the axes until I get to the parts that are easier to hit, take care of, right? Sure, it's a good way to think about it, probably. Is damage dealt with sub-weapons a function of your stats in any way, or your equipped gear? Assume not, right? It's going much better than last time. Side of the getting poisoned and interrupting you, there we go. Hey, Game Saucer, what's grooving? Yeah, that's the way to think about it, Johan. Everyone doesn't need to like it, but I think that it's easy to have the well poisoned for you in Darkest Dungeon, if that makes sense. Same with Dark Souls, really. They're very different kinds of games. Like, Andrea will never play Dark Souls in a million years, but she played Darkest Dungeon and had a ton of fun with it on our way to Japan. But it was a lot of the way that I packaged the game for her when I was like, this is how you should expect to play it. Like, you're leveling up your Hamlet, you're not leveling up your characters. Your characters don't matter, and you're probably going to have to let some of them go when they get to be too expensive. Yeah, that's a cool way to put it, sir. So, like, you know, Diablo is a game where you're a god amongst men. Here you're a man amongst gods. Very different style of playing. It'd be fun to watch you do some Crypt of the Necrodancer too, Polobruski. It's hard, and it's gotten so anime spiky, like, to its detriment, I think. I don't know. I think that Fire Emblem has a lot of similar issues to Dragon Quest, in that they do a lot of things just 'cause. That's how it's always been done. And when they do finally make changes that are good for the series, the fan base gets really pissed at them, right? So, like, removing weapon durability in Conquest, I think, was just a fundamentally good decision, and people were pissed about it. Oh no! It's just a unrelenting font, right, sir? Yeah. It just sounds like your playstyle isn't really compatible with the style of the game. It's not a problem. Yeah, even when you're winning in Fire Emblem, you feel stressed. You can hear that. That makes sense. That's part of what gets me with RTS games. That, like, there's that optimization paralysis that even, like, really RTS games I think are meant to be about good enough. Like, set everything up good enough such that you can win, and whether you win or not is the test of success, right? But it's hard to play like that for me. It's like, oh no, you know, yeah, I won, but I could have won with so much more style. I could have done it more correctly. Darkest Dungeon is kind of the same. It's not so much like do it perfectly, but minimize loss. Maximize reward, minimize risk. You just can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, I think I just have to get my brain to wrap around RTS games differently to be able to enjoy them. The interesting theme of this discussion, I think, is the way you package a game and how that affects people's enjoyment of it. What mindset they have when they go into it, you know? Sometimes I worry that there are games that I only really enjoyed because of the specific circumstances in which I played them, and games that I ended up not liking that much, but I would have liked a lot better if I played them at the right time in my life. Or, you know, in the right sequence after another game. That your enjoyment of media doesn't really exist in a vacuum. Like, you can give a review score to a game, but it's only because of the time that you played it that you gave it that score. $29? Okay. Good to know. That's helpful. I think that's about how long to beat estimates as well. Yeah, so Darkest Dungeon, like, you have every decision that you make, even down to the point of, like, taking a single step with your party, is something you can agonize over. but it's only one decision that you're making when you choose to take that step or not take that step. By comparison, like an RTS game, if you take a second to agonize over what you can do, that's a second wasted. Like there's opportunity cost to thinking. So right, you have to get yourself out of the mode of trying to optimize every moment, or you're gonna hate your life. Yeah, so you're better at the macro versus the micro, I guess. Is that the RTS terminology for that? Goddess shield. Engraved with goddess image. Just out of curiosity, what does it do with this shield? To do like a special spell or something, right? How does the shield rod spell work again? Maybe. I don't know. I still think that the way I approach an RTS game is really different, even though it's... Like, you play a game like Dark Souls, you're not agonizing over every millisecond of gameplay, but you do have really limited options in each moment, right? Like, there's not that huge of a difference between a professional speedrunner and a person who's playing through it casually. The speedrunner has a lot more knowledge of the game. They know when to press buttons at the right times. But their fundamental experience, I feel, is less different than, you know, a professional StarCraft 2 player versus just a rando person learning it in a tutorial. Yeah, here he is, Spiky. I don't know how you fix the XP part of Fire Emblem. I still think that my favorite approach to, like, tactics games and XP is Valkyria Chronicles, where entire units, like, classes level up. So, like, all of your soldiers level up together, all of your mages level up together, and the individual units have some flavor abilities, but you don't have to bring them with you to power those up. That's interesting. I don't know if you can see those invisible enemies at all. I guess you can kind of see them briefly when they're flying towards you. Maybe I have an item I can use to see them. So let me check out some areas in the northeast there. I'll come back later. Remind me how the XP system works for catching people up in Suikoden? Suikoden. I was just thinking about that game the other day from whenever we do it on stream, and I don't remember anything about it. I remember having tons and tons of characters, and I remember Luca Blight. That's about the extent of it. We already did the cool boss fight against the Castlevania 3 characters. Some people's Gorgons, man. Or I can, you know, not succeed on using the other. You need 1,000 XP to level up no matter what, and the amount each person gets based on abilities. That's a good approach. Wow, this guy sucks. It's like really high defense. Get a pretty big difficulty spike when you get to the inverted castle here. because you're probably overpowered in the normal castle, and now you get to certain areas where enemies hit you for just a gigantic chunk of your HP. Let's see. Gotta go up here. Hey, look at that. Conveniently placed save point for the win. So I'm not going to declare a victory yet, but we've been streaming for about 20 minutes now without any issues. If everything keeps up, we'll go over by an hour and make up for time. Thank you all for sticking around through issues. Sub-weapon use. I guess I may have had an item earlier that maybe my sub-weapon's better. Right. Jinxing it. Jinxing isn't a thing. I think so, for the first 50 Patreon subscribers. I don't know if it'll be sustainable beyond that. I haven't really come up with anything that can top the anniversary bonus system. People seem to really like it. Some things you can think about doing, like t-shirts or something like that, but at the end of the day, stream time is a really valuable commodity. I like the Simon Says mirrors in here, stained glass windows. Oh yeah, The Witness is a great game to get someone who plays who's never played video games before. Like I said, it's the Voyager Golden Record game. Like, I think an alien race could probably play it, provided they could interact with it. Had fingers to manipulate the gamepad or something. Ooh. Off we go. I saw a really interesting post on the Elite Dangerous subreddit yesterday that was like, hey everybody, Elite Dangerous is still rated as mixed reception on Steam. Let's fix that. And there were like 50 comments, you know, sorted by top rated, that were all like, no, the game actually is mixed. I think that that's a correct reception for it. These are all people who really like the game. Like, give Frontier time to flesh it out and do this cool stuff with the alien. I don't know if you guys saw that. I think we played just enough Elite Dangerous on stream to understand why that video was such a huge deal, so I'm glad that we played it. It was a really cool video. I think it's in the Cool Stuff channel on Discord. Somebody had first contact with an alien race in the game. Worth watching if you caught maybe even like an hour or so of Elite Dangerous. Talisman. May absorb damage. May absorb. Favorite word. Things that are conditional. Yeah. No, that helps, sir. I've said before that I think hype is almost globally bad. When you say things are just perfect and everyone should play it. Portal's pretty good. Portal 1 is... I don't know if I could advise Portal 1 to a complete newbie gamer, though. Like, it's a really good game, and it's guided, and it's easy to pick up, but there's a couple puzzles later on that are very, very difficult to execute. Like, dexterity puzzles. There's one in particular that involves portal flinging, where you have to get knocked out of a portal and then land another portal on the ground while you're flying to finish the fling. And it's very, very difficult for people that aren't... Well, it's very difficult for people who do have, like, gamepad dexterity to execute on, let alone someone who doesn't really play video games. So this is another way through the same area, obviously. Portal 2, maybe. 2, they removed most of those extreme dexterity puzzles, and they added a lot of other nice quality of life features, like portal funneling, which I talk about a lot on stream. It's the mechanic where, like, if you're close enough to a portal, the game figures out what you were trying to do, and it funnels you into the portal, even if your aim wasn't 100% perfect. You can do Roll20 with people you know. Okay. In fact, that's my preferred way to play tabletop now. I'd even, like, go so far as to play it in the same room with people, but have everyone be on laptops, do it in Roll20. I don't think you can start somebody with Portal 2. They need to play Portal 1 first, but you kind of have to get them groomed for video games first. The Witness is probably a good choice. Life is Strange, another one. Don't really need a lot of any dexterity in that game at all. I think people consume that way the way they might consume a TV show, so they can pretty quickly pick up on what the deal is, understand why it works as a video game and wouldn't really work as a TV show or a movie. Chicken just exploded. It's a flea man riding a dragon. Always a treat. No? Yeah, sorry folks, I'm jet-lagged and distracted with Comcast issues, so if I'm not playing optimally, I appreciate you giving me a bit of a pass today. Hey, look at that. Beauty. Ow. We need to kill this thing like immediately when it spawns if you can. There we go. That's the dream. Posted pictures from the Shibuya Scramble Crossing, and my dad got all excited. One of the DS games he's played was The World Ends With You. See you flashing, bitrate. Calm down. Didn't actually dip, but it was getting there. It wanted to dip. Feel it. Yeah, right, Propagable. The whole reason I'm into video games... My mom bought an NES for my dad when I was like 3 years old, and it was for Christmas. I almost spoiled it because I was there when she bought it, and I was like, "Hey Dad, guess what your Christmas present is?" And my mom was like, "Don't tell him. If you spoil it, I'm going to take it back." And I said, "I'll give you a hint. It has ducks and you hunt them." And she's like, "Okay, I'm taking it back." And she legit took it back. And then she got it again. You know, still get it for Christmas. Rest is history. Ow. Oh, that's cool, sir. I know, right? Well, I was 3. Well, I'm basically in a position where I, like, permanently regret everything I did prior to the present. Could have done everything I've ever done better. Oh, does it just leave the dragon gets to fly around for a bit? Just for funsies? That's cool. God. Ow. Holy shit, that hurts. That'll kill me in one hit if I don't do something about it right now. And there it is. Got Kamehameha by a spooky green skeleton. Womp womp. Alright. We'll progress through that room more carefully this pass. Let us go out this evening for sure. The night is still young. Why does it say that? Is that like a quote from something? Is it a wonky localization? This game certainly has some of that. That's cool. Alright, so I think that down... What was down? Dead end with a fire boomerang. Got it. Okay, well, I'm not going to ask people to not talk about their friends, family, and interests. We can move on from the topic. Ow. Man, I really got to find a way to deal with the Nova skeletons. Or I need to find a way to deal with the corpse flower lady. It's like, once she blocks me, I gotta just get in there and murder her immediately, I think. And the Nova Skeletons themselves don't actually have any hit points. If I can just get one hit off on them, they're dead. There we go, that's better. Yeah. This game is... I don't know, I'm trying to remember if the later Metroidvania titles do a good job of like giving you a heads up when you're almost dead. But I feel like it's really easy in this game to like go from full to dead without even realizing that you were in danger. And modern games will try to like make the screen turn red or just put something in your peripheral vision. Here you just kind of have a generic number in the top left corner that I don't think even goes yellow until you're at like 5% of health or something. It's very low. A Roboros Rider. Ow. Come on. Okay. We survived that hallway hike. I might hold on to the cross. The holy water's been kind of not exciting lately. Nothing there. This was the secret that we had to jump up to much earlier. I was like, I'm not actually doing anything. I thought it was just like it removes the negative status effect. Unpetrify. Yeah, it's great. We'll ever see. When you're supposed to use the shovel. I mean, you can dig through walls to advance the beat without actually physically moving the position of your character. So you can dig through walls to try to sneak away around to places or run away from enemies. Yeah, use it whenever you want to shovel something. Or if you think there's a secret passage. Sometimes if you have enough light radius, you can see things like chests behind walls. Ow, 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 ow. Oh, that's why I don't carry the cross with me most of the time. Okay. Holy shit. Very quickly went from having full health to being basically dead. I have enough to use a potion. I'd like to get out of here alive. Ooh, not great. I don't have any range. I guess I could try throwing some shurikens at this dude. It's an item I never use. I'm getting some dropped frames, but the stream isn't going down. Keep playing for now. Hope for the best. Oh wow. Used all those shurikens, like, instantly. Just use it to kill the Nova dudes faster. Is there another Nova guy down here? Okay, cool. Just gotta make it back to the save room, and then all will be well. Yeah, right, Spiky. I think all the games after this one have a good localization. So this is... PS1 was like the last era where it was generally considered acceptable to have a really shitty localization. And like bad voice acting. Starting around the PS2 and beyond, the GBA got much better. Don't get... Oh, I got Kamehameha! I was even actively trying to dodge it. You know what I should probably do? I should probably just, like... mistform my way through that room. I can soul steal the skeletons, but I'm really bad at executing like the fighting game command to do it. I think that the Alucard gear is like they're like joke items, so that's an exception at least. They're trying to trick you into thinking that it's the Alucard gear, which actually is the best stuff in the game. Try not dying. Yeah, bizarrely, that is actually an intentional one. I wouldn't have expected it either. If I sit there and like fumble for a while to try to put in the input for Soul Steal, I'll probably die while I'm attempting it. So I haven't really been focusing on trying. So I'm watching my bitrate fluctuate pretty wildly here. I think we'll be okay. Just a heads up in case the stream starts crapping itself soon. Yeah, let me just... I just kind of want to get the loot on the other side of this room. I don't need to fight anything. Let's get cheesy with it. There's really nothing important in here. I guess it's just the map coverage is good because that makes my walk armor better. I don't think I've found any armor that's competitive with that yet. I know. All that XP. Gone. Let's not bring the cross. And the Jesus DPS is really strong. Some of the best in the game, but it's so expensive. It uses almost all your hearts. Summon that high DPS crucifix. Oh yeah. I never actually played, I think I played like maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes of Dwarf Fortress, and it wasn't enough for me to get into it. I've seen the comic making fun of its learning curve being really extreme. I hear that once you get through over the learning curve in Dwarf Fortress, it's really, really good though. Alright. I wouldn't have gotten away with that in the other room with all the enemies bouncing around, but so to avoid everything there. Save. Let's not go back in that corner of the map ever again with all the Nova skeletons and other hell beasts. Oh, how much Dwarf Fortress have you done, Polibruski? Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, okay. No, that's awesome. I kind of like those games in a way. Games that benefit from having a guide. When I did Dwarf Fortress, it was way before I was streaming. So I think I've had a lot of games that have been improved by playing them on Twitch. Dark Souls is actually probably one of those where I had people in chat. Like, I had no idea about the bonfire kindling mechanic. It may have been something I would have been more likely to explore on my own if I wasn't streaming and felt the time pressure to not just dick around in menus for an hour. But that made the early experience of the game a lot more bearable, and like pointing out some obvious shortcuts that I missed. Oh, right. Really like the inverted castle. Like the water's inverted too. It's awesome. That does not make sense. Ooh, cool looking area. Alright, slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken by a vampire man wildly dancing around. It's cool gray hair. God, it's very simple input. Just cannot do it today. There we go. Kaboom! It's a cave troll? It's a fish man. That's really cool. Spiky. Hey, the actual Alucard shield. Okay, so I think, I'm not going to use this at length, but I think that we've now unlocked the most broken strategy of the game. Let me see if I can hold up to my decision not to use it. How to use shield rod. Shield rod. Spell. Is that right? There it is. So if I remember right, this makes it so that you basically cast every shield spell in the game, and like anything you touch pretty much just dies if you can land it. Yeah. It does like 255 damage. It's super bonkers broken. The cheese is real. I'll probably take it off for boss fights, but I'll use it to progress through areas. Because it makes the bosses like embarrassing. You just walk in and hold out your shield at them and they just melt instantly. This is one of those, like, what were they thinking things? Like, maybe it's Maybe they were hoping that most people wouldn't discover it, since it's kind of weird to cast the shield rod spells in the first place. It's a niche thing most people probably wouldn't discover without a guide or like a friend telling them. How do I get up here? You get as much map coverage as I can. It looks like there's a wonky corner right there. Oh man, how do I get up there? Is this like a known issue in the inverted castle? Like troubles with map completion in this area? Looks like there's a thing there. Come on. It's not giving it to me for some reason. I don't think I can... Yeah, I can't go in there as like a bat or anything. Can't transform at all in the water. I can abandon it to make me feel like shit though, leaving big empty space on the map like that. Ah, okay, we just gotta move on. Don't think about it. It's okay. It's not a big deal. It's the biggest deal in the universe. I'm gonna have to Google that. That's driving me bonkers. Why is it that way? Symphony, maybe I'll use that in boss fights. See what the stats are compared to the combat knife. I've been using the combat knife just because the attack rate on it is extremely high. Boat murdered? That's the name of his character, or what's the name that it's generating that you're talking about? Wow, that spell, I think you have to recast it eventually, but it lasts a very long time. That pentagram. You know what I mean? And it heals you with each hit. Oh, generating into the fortress, so it's... Try going up first. I haven't been to a save room in a while, but in theory we shouldn't die to regular enemies anymore. This busted combo. Come back here. Oops. Oh, cool. Pulversky. Thank you. I'm really struggling to think of like a corner case mechanic in another video game that's as broken as the shield rod and the Alucard shield in this one. Maybe the X-Zone banish thing in Final Fantasy VI, but I'm pretty sure that was a glitch, right? It had something to do with like banish deciding... Okay, if you never played Final Fantasy VI before, there's two spells. You have a spell that makes enemies turn invisible, and you have another spell that instantly kills an enemy, and the way you can tell that it instantly killed them is that it makes their sprite disappear. And there's a glitch, at least I think it's a glitch, where if an enemy is already invisible and you use the skill that like banishes them to the X-Zone, they will always be successful, even if it's an enemy that's normally immune to the instant death attack. So even on bosses at the endgame, you cast Vanish on them, and then you cast X-Zone, and they just die. That's pretty busted. I think it like can soft lock the game sometimes if you use it on bosses that have a script. It's difficult not to use it on harder fights or like when you're farming for XP or economizers with the dinosaurs in the dinosaur forest in that game. Got the save. Hey, alright, so let's not use this. Let's use that cool new katana we just got. It's two-handed around. Doppelganger 40. Now, we fought a Doppelganger earlier. Oh my god. The damage in this game, they just really didn't think about it. They just kind of like made up numbers. Like this cool two-handed katana that you get like 3 hours later than the combat knife, and it's two-handed, and it's like a fourth of the attack speed, does like half the damage per swing. Petrification. Which is crazy. It's a cool way to get out of being like juggled in the corner, right? Looks like being able to attack fast doesn't really matter against this guy, since he has a really long temporary invincibility period after you hit him. Come on, bud. GG. Nice. So you have to just like, why is he named Doppelganger 40? Why does he do basically no damage? Like, maybe he's meant to teach you some of those tactics, like turning into a bat and then dashing across the screen, I think is a power you learn later. Whoa. This is one of those, looks like it's a Super Mario Maker room down here. Hold on. Shield rod, hold shield, attack twice. I think he's level 40. This must be a room that you go to farm for XP too. It might still be, but we've been okay for the past hour or so, so fingers crossed that it continues that way. Oh, does it only hit a certain number of times and you have to cast it again? Is that how it works? Makes some sense. Oh no, it's just that I'm not... The way that Hill was working was getting me in trouble. These guys don't spawn off screen, do they? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It's broken. So could you just farm here forever? Maybe that's the purpose of this room. I mean, I can't always fault games for doing stuff like that. Sort of like the little loading hallways in Metroid Prime that also give you a ton of like missiles and health packs and that kind of thing. Oh, it only lasts on each screen. Okay, that's part of it. Or until you run out of mana is probably the other one. I don't think the XP is actually that great. Yeah, it's the fabled giant stack of Goombas that I give people crap for doing in Super Mario Maker. It's like, you guys went a little bit crazy with the copy and paste enemy button there. Chill out just a little bit. We got everything there is to get, and that's like the only thing that's gated behind the Doppelganger 40 boss fight. It's funny. Just like a room with potentially infinite XP if you're patient enough. Oh shit. Not what I meant to do. I think this game gets some kind of award for like... There's a classic problem with Metroidvanias where by the time you have all of your cool power-ups, like, you only have another 20 minutes of game left to use all of them. So some games will fix that by putting a lot of optional collectibles throughout the game where you have to use your mobility power-ups. So you'll have to go back basically through the whole map. Other games like Zelda will just change up what items you're required to use in each dungeon appropriately. But this is cool that you have the inverted castle, and since it's inverted, the way you have to move through it is very different. You have to use all of those mobility moves that only had little corner case requirements earlier in the game. It's been going. You guys bear with me if I'm a little slow today. Andrew and I are both pretty jet lagged. I think I will be better off tomorrow. Hopefully all the Comcast issues are gone. Got a tech coming out tomorrow afternoon. We might end up having to restart the stream a bit if he unplugs any of the cables outside. But let's see. Oh, that's cool, Spiky. Is that the only change? Did they have to change anything? Because I imagine there's so much ability to sequence break in Super Metroid that you wouldn't have to really move any power-ups around. People would still be able to play through the whole thing. Sorry, Propagable. Please submit your complaint to Comcast, care of New Zealand. It drains MP whenever I'm holding the shield out. Okay. So that's why I ran out so fast before. Oh shit, I need to not use this cross. I'm gonna trigger it accidentally over and over. Those sick Jesus DPS. Gotcha. That's really cool. That's a very neat way to modify the game, right? So could they make exactly the same thing and rotate it another 180 degrees, so now it's clockwise instead of counterclockwise? I don't know if that would actually change anything very much, the way you have to move through it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Magna. That's a bummer. Will do. Right. Wall jumping is never required in the original Super Metroid, is it? It's only mechanics only ever really hinted to you, if I recall. Tickets. This is the kind of place where like item placement would be telling a story if this was Dark Souls. I don't know if there's like what the authorial intent is between having this room with 6 meal tickets in it in like Egyptian vases. It might mean something. You have to ask is it Igarashi? Who's the Castlevania Cult of Personality dev? Oh yeah, this was the this is the room where we fought the succubus in the regular castle, and now it has some peanuts in it. And reminder on the description of the peanuts. Man, this game can be goofy. Difficult to eat. It's like 6 meal tickets in a room outside of the succubus that has peanuts in it. Like, are you guys like throwing things at a dartboard? Is there some deep meaning to it? Is there gonna be like a 80-hour game explain video about it? I see. Oh, I gotta get rid of this cross. Wasting my sick Jesus DPS on candles. Ugh. Do they still close out GDQ with a Super Metroid run? I feel like that was a tradition for a while. Ooh, been here before, haven't I? I guess not here. Maybe I like game over after exploring this place. That's also possible. If I can find any other items that deal with MP region would be nice, since I'm using it for area progression now. You can also just like tap the shield to bring it out for a split second. They always have a run bit near the end. It's always the save kill the animals is the biggest donation. Gotcha. Yeah, if you're I think it's been hosted on the channel a bit while I was in Japan. I haven't been under that super closely, but if you're not really into speedrunning and you're interested to know why people are into speedrunning, now's a good time to watch GQ. The runners will often explain what they're doing, which is a huge chunk of the fun of speedrunning for me. Understanding why people are taking certain routes, the story behind their routing, that sort of thing. You're not watching them do practicing, so they're never going to reset. They're always going to play through the whole game until they beat it, even if it takes them longer than they'd like it to. Undertale? Interesting. Yeah, you can go, I think they have full VODs for everything from GDQ as well, so you don't have to watch it live. In fact, it's such an active chat that you probably don't need to watch it live. Andrea and I watched the run for Rayman last year. It's one of her favorite games. It's really cool. How long is the Temi College speedrun? Yeah, it can be fun watching it live just because, like, the question of you don't know what's going to happen. It can't possibly be spoiled for you. Oh, there's an official Discord for it? That's cool. Isn't this where there's a secret? Yeah. Dim sum set. Okay. Can I, like, stand in here? Probably not. I probably have to get into it the other way. I think you had to, like, crouch there in the regular castle to get to a secret. Super weird. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. How are you doing? So have to get some more of our pictures and video from Japan on Facebook. I'm sure Andrew will give you a heads up. I think you can get spoiled, though. Oh, I see what you're saying, when you're watching it live, right? I was gonna say, like, if you're watching GDQ recorded, sometimes just the thumbnail can give something away. Or, like, the duration of the video is usually the biggest one that's a problem. I don't think... Does GDQ split their VODs based on the game that they're playing, or they just have one VOD for the whole day? I think it's the... Well, they might actually do video uploads now, which would be nice, now that uploads are a thing. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of frame droppage. It's not brutal just yet. They do split it by game? Okay. That's cool that you can see that, but sometimes, like, knowing how long the run is itself a spoiler, right? I wonder if that's something they'd ever be able to conceal, you know? do like a upload setting where you can make the duration a question mark when that's potentially a spoiler. Has anyone ever gotten a world record? Hey, it's another one of the 4 Castlevania elements. It's Frankenstein's monster. Oh shit, I don't want to cheese him. Fight him partially for real here. Try this dark sword. See if it's any better than the combat knife. Okay, well, it would have happened about that fast. The guy didn't have that many hit points. Yeah, like adding, you know, 45 minutes or something, and changing it up every time, how much Vlad they include. Yeah, it would be something that would be non-trivial to develop, but it's interesting to think about technology solutions on a video streaming platform like Twitch that are getting some more drop frames and watching to see if it passes here. 1 sec. It's not completely dying, so we might be okay if we give it a little bit. Anyway, think about technology solutions that work really well specifically for video gaming that wouldn't be necessary on something like YouTube. I don't think there's very many YouTube videos where you need to conceal the length. Yeah, exactly. Apex. The stream's still up, but I'm dropping a ton of frames. Let's see if I can wait it out in this room here before I progress forward. This is what it usually looks like when it's at its worst. I just watch the bitrate fluctuate wildly from what it should be 3000 kbps down to like 1000 kbps. Stop the clock here. If you're watching on YouTube in the future, jump ahead to when you see that clock green again. Probably won't remember to put a annotation on there. More practical benefits gained from knowing how much time you just set aside for the video than is lost from knowing how short it is. I think in a lot of cases that's probably true. And if they did something like that on Twitch, I imagine it would be something you would opt out of. You have like a setting, you know, show hidden video durations. I think the worst of it is past. Fingers crossed, back to a solid green light. Hi, future YouTube, exactly. Okay, let's try going down now. I think we can explore it all up from the top. Let me know if that gets bad again later. Took me a sec to follow your meaning, probably. Well, that's funny. Gotcha, Aki. Yeah. Have you tried Beam at all? Beam might work pretty well. YouTube has the DVR feature though, and the ability to speed up the live video if you're watching it behind on time. Frames are dropping again. I'm just gonna keep pushing through this area for a sec. I won't do a boss fight though. You guys are gonna see the video skipping a bit here, sorry. DVR feature is pretty great. Dropping loads. Dropping frames. So right now it's not great, but it's not as bad of a dropped frames issue as we had when I was completely unable to stream before, so I'm going to try to keep pushing through it for now. If at any point you guys feel that it's unwatchable, let me know. If it drops to 0 at any point, like the entire stream disconnects, then we'll stop for today. But so far it's just kind of hovering. Have you tried Beam? Beam.pro. It's another service you can use that I'm multi-streaming to. The benefit on that one, it doesn't have a lot of YouTube's niceties, but has an extremely low delay. It's like 3 or 4 seconds versus Twitch's 10 to 15 seconds. Oh, hey people, are you there? There we go, it wore off. Yeah, I know. Take it up with Comcast. I get so sad whenever I call them. So here we go again. Is this an area where all the enemies are named after Wizard of Oz characters? I think so, right? That guy's the Tin Man, this is the Cowardly Lion. Good. I think we killed a couple of the scarecrows as well. Oh, I've never heard of Virginia before. What game is that? If anyone knows. Yeah, I think that's a scarecrow down there, right? That's cool. I know, right? They put work into a lot of the death animations in this game. It's really impressive, or something you're just going to move past almost immediately, right? Generally pretty impressed with the amount of polish in these Metroidvania titles. Strength and power of Cross. A lot of states. Yet I couldn't tell you anything about the wards, prefects, provinces. What do you have in New Zealand? Shogunates? Propagator lives in the west coast New Zealand shogunate. Neutron bombs. Man, just... And sometimes the loot they give you in this game, it's like a really cool secret, and they give you this really stupid... Power increases with gameplay. Really? So the stats get better the longer the clock is, the longer the hours are? So you could like leave the game on for a week and have that be a really strong weapon. It's kind of funny. Yeah, let's talk politics, please. Regions and islands. Regions and islands. Gotcha. Like, is there a formal separate system of governance in different regions propagable? Do you have like the equivalent of mayors or governors or... Kim.com. Hey, Raker. What's screwing? Doing alright, how's it been? Enjoying Symphony of the Night at the point where it's maximum cheese with the shield rod and the Alucard shield. And he just dies in one hit. But I'll probably, if I remember, try to fight bosses in a way that's more interesting. I don't remember, is Eye of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow, are those games breakable? I don't want to go into the specific ability system in that game, which is a pretty big spoiler. But there's a lot of customization, we can say. I don't remember if there's any combinations that are as busted as this, or even as busted as like having the walk armor and the combat knife taking basically no damage and killing most bosses in sub 60 seconds without really having to dodge or anything. Kind of felt like standard fare for the not so well balanced Symphony of the Night. I feel like they got better with that with later Metroidvanias, but I don't remember as well. Yeah, there's different tiers to which games are breakable, right? Because like Dark Souls 1 is broken with the upgraded Black Knight Halberd, but it's still hard. Like the game doesn't get trivialized by having it. Yeah, I'm excited. I played Dawn of Sorrow, but I never played Eye of Sorrow, so it'll be a blind playthrough for me. Unfortunately, even though it'll be blind, I know the spoiler for Eye of Sorrow. Since Dawn gives it up in like the very beginning of the game. But it'll still be fun to see the level design and everything. Yeah. So is Shmoo supposed to be Dorothy? Shmoo must be Dorothy. Everything else makes sense except for that one. I wonder if that's a translation thing. Oh yeah, I've never seen Metropolis. It's really important to the... It's one of those films that's probably more important than it is good, but it's also pretty good. Combos. I've never played Papers, Please. Play that game would be way up my alley. Watched a little bit of it, so I know the general premise and how the game plays out. Yeah, some great movies are very slow. The original Blade Runner is super slow. It's like borderline boring. It's a really good movie, don't get me wrong. I like Blade Runner very much, but not a lot happens in it, to be honest. Yeah. No, I've definitely heard that about Papers, Please. The goal of art is to make you feel. Seems like, from my understanding, what Papers, Please is all about, it succeeds in that respect. Aki, what kind of game is it? Democracy 3? Yeah, no, it's true. Like, the director's cut of Blade Runner is 100 times better. It's still it's still very slow. Requires a different sort of mindset going into it. It's more of cerebral science fiction. Propagable. Oh, you goof. Is there anywhere in-game where I can see my map completion percentage, or is that something that I have to do in the, Oops. I lost the Bible. Oh, I guess I lost it. It's fine. Is that something we have to do in the save screen? We have to load the game. Wait, show it here? No, it shows number of rooms. Isn't quite the same. Frightens enemy, lowers defense. Interesting. Ow. Yeah, slow's not necessarily bad. It's just one of those things you kind of have to warn somebody. On the plane back from Japan, I watched The Prestige for the first time, which is an excellent film. Can't believe I hadn't seen it before. But I bring it up to say that that movie's not slow. It kind of has the Chris Nolan problem where he had this really cool 8-hour story that he had to cram into like 2.5 hours, so the pacing is really frenetic. I would much preferred it to be like a Westworld thing, give him 8 hours in the miniseries to do it. Oh, so can you like use Luminous and the Dark Blade at the same time? Is there like a special bonus for doing that, I wonder? It's kind of cool secret I would expect from the item descriptions there. I think I have an ability to charge with this, do I? I think you do get one, I just don't have it. Oh, cool, Leon. Oh, wow. Yeah, even just looking at the first one and recognizing when that movie came out. That's insane. Hey, there is a way to get up here. It doesn't involve walking to that door. Karma coin. This game definitely has a problem with it having a ton of really cool consumables, but it's doubtful that anyone ever uses them because they're such a pain to equip and use. It's a bummer when that happens in video games. I've seen that before. You add some cool mechanic that just isn't time efficient to interact with. It's a common problem in JRPGs, right, where a lot of the spells in the game just aren't worth the cast time to use. You may as well just press attack. So even though there's this awesome list of abilities to select from, you're never going to use 90% of them. Not even just because of it's not ideal, but you just don't have the time to try them. You did use some attack items in Bravely Second. Might have, I don't remember. Oh, I'm no longer immune to Petrify. I was using the Medusa head shield for so long. I think that there's an ending you can get in this game that's dependent on your map completion percentage. You have to have, you don't have to 100% the map, but you have to have, 200% or something like that. Can someone look up what that completion percentage threshold is, and maybe even tell me how many rooms there are total in this game? Might see if that's feasible to attempt. Speed we can move through the maps. Don't think it requires that much pain in the ass to do it. Not 100% sure. So I've already been here. I came here from the other direction. We should get out of here. I've triggered basically no warp room, which is kind of a bummer. To walk everywhere like some kind of caveman. Let's go back to that room I skipped. I think I did all the secrets in here last time too. Took me a second, Raker. It's a R no context Reddit post. 199.1. Oh, that's higher than I thought it was going to be. Never mind. It's like 206% is the total size of the map or something like that, right? That sounds right. Illinois Nazis. Hmm. $206.5. Yeah, that sounds right. Where like each room is 0.1% or something. I think you're right. That sounds familiar. Oh, that's interesting. I can just full heal on those things since you get health whenever you touch one, but you don't actually damage them. Wow, I think I've just been barely skipping all the warp rooms. Whenever I see one of the doors, like, oh, I shouldn't go in there yet. That probably goes somewhere important. Whoops. Okay. So let's go back to New York to lay you to rest. No, let's go east. I think that's beside the faster. Alright, there you go, Archifall. Blowing up tombstones with a shield. Yeah, I'm guessing the game doesn't have mechanics for convincing the 99% that they could be the 1% someday. Right, Bilibrisky. That works too. Futurama did a pretty good joke about that. Why do you say that, Fry? You're not rich. Yeah, but someday I might be, and then people like me better watch their step. These goth guys are still kind of a pain, even with the Alucard shield, since it doesn't protect me from attacks from anywhere other than the front, right? And getting staggered is really bad. Sniper of Goth. There we go. I think he was making a Fox parody. Monitor my frame droppage a little bit more closely here. Should have a dot meme for every classic meme. Someone have to be in charge of giving their official names, though. Potential for drama. So this is the classic entrance to Castlevania, I think, up here, right? You get to in a lot of the earlier titles. You don't start from the same place in Symphony of the Night that you do in a lot of the traditional I am using what is probably the most broken combination in gaming history. It's 100% intentional, which makes you wonder what they were thinking. But basically, you cast a spell, there's this thing called the Shield Rod, that casts a different spell depending on what shield you have equipped. And if you equip the Alucard shield, which is the best shield in the game, it casts every spell simultaneously. And it makes it so that every time you attack something, it drops hearts, it heals you, and it does like 255 points of damage. So I'm using it for area progression, since like fighting the enemies in the area isn't terribly interesting at this point in the game. I'm trying to remember to equip when you get to boss fights, so you don't just wreck every boss fight you walk into. Oh, interesting. My walk armor is better than my Alucard armor. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier, Chaos, with the Vanish X Zone trick. It's funny, the Game Boy Advance version of Final Fantasy VI retranslated it, and it fixed the Vanish X Zone trick, but they also renamed X Zone to Banish. I was like, if you hadn't fixed the trick, it would have been called Vanish Banish. Perfect. Yeah, it's stupid busted. Very, very strong. Some of those rooms I was saying, it's cool use case for the inverted castle thing, right? You come here in the normal castle and you're like, why are there spikes on the ceiling? I don't jump high enough to be able to touch them. You get to the inverted castle and you're like, oh, okay. Go. Yeah, it can be fun to find them. I feel like the Alucard shield combo is one that most people aren't going to discover without reading a walkthrough or talking to somebody else about it. You're not just going to stumble into what the shield rod actually does, for example. And it says it does something with shields, but there's kind of a weird input you have to do to trigger it. And then to know to do it with the Alucard shield and then understand what its effect is when you cast it, right? Because you do this, that's what the cast looks like. It shows you all the shields in the game. And you're like, what does that mean? I don't know. Well, it didn't do anything obvious, so I'm just going to put the shield away. Yeah, when they're well hidden, for sure. I have a lot of trouble. For some reason, like, it's easy for me to not load up a Game Genie, right, and just overtly cheat. But when they give you something like the Alucard shield, it's really hard to not use it. Especially if you're in like a room where you keep struggling with something. It's like I could just walk in here and just walk into the enemy and kill it, and it's not like a code that I'm putting in. It's something that's technically intended by the developer. And once you start imposing artificial limits, like no Alucard shield, like no consumable items, no potions, no healing, no spells. Where do you stop? Where do you draw the line? I've never heard of Banish before. What kind of game is it? Just has never crossed my desk. I don't know, I would say that this shield is unbalanced. Maybe balance isn't the right word. It's so strong as to basically trivialize the entire game once you get it. Like every boss, including the final boss, will die in like 3 or 4 seconds if you use it. RTS with no enemies? It's an interesting description. I think I have to get all of the body parts of Vlad to be able to go fight the final boss. So we have to find the Castlevania bosses. I think we killed the giant bat, Frankenstein. Did we get the mummy? We may have gotten the mummy too. So which body parts am I missing? Ring, tooth, rib, heart. It's like fang and nail. Nail? I guess tooth is fang, so nail and something else. Not sure. I gotta go left. Okay. So these guys, as a trade-off for them having like the maximum defensive value, get a shit ton of experience apparently. This is not good. That's better. Yeah, wow. I might try to get a couple more levels just to get my defense up. That should be fine for now. Eye, nail an eye. Okay, thank you, Big Man. There's probably also a way for me to open these side doors. Is one of them just wait for the clock to reach a certain point, and the other one is like use the stopwatch again? There's a pretty significant alternate area down there if I can get it to work. It's a pretty great quick comic about bidets. Shoots water up your butt. Like, in a mean way? The day is only as mean as the man using it. Okay. There are a lot of nice, cool little, like, bonuses. In addition to having just bonkers awesome hotel internet in Japan. Toilets have a bunch of fancy features. A warmed seat. The mirror has heating behind it so that when you take a shower, every part of the mirror fogs up except the part where you're looking in, so you can shave, brush your hair, or whatever. Alright, so that just all looped around. Really a dead end up there? Is there a way to get up there? Seems suspicious to me. Maybe it is an actual dead end. Huh. Dead end, dead end, dead end, dead end, dead end. Alright, so there's an area I haven't explored in the top right. I wish I could quickly toggle between the other castles so I could look at the map. Maybe something similar. Pull up the inverted castle map over here. Now that we've tapped out a lot of the area here. Oh, that's a pretty big area that I haven't explored, huh? How do I get to it, though? Oh, okay, I think I know where to go. Nagoya was pretty cheap. Actually, the cost of like luxury activities, like going to a hotel or getting lunch or dinner out, was quite a bit cheaper than I'm used to in the US. Get a really good meal, fairly inexpensively, at least the places we went to. Let's go first. Jump, 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 jumpy, jumpy, jump. This is kind of where we want to be. Getting there. Oh! It's a quick health checkup to chat. I am still recording some dropped frames here and there. Would anyone describe it as literally unwatchable? Or is it frustrating enough to make you motion sick or anything like that? It's not as consistently bad as it was before. from my end, but just the fact that I'm not seeing a light that's constantly green is frustrating me. Oh yeah? Thank you. If it gets to the point where it's not watchable, I'll rely on y'all to say something. I'm trying my best to just not look at the flashing red light on the side of the screen today. Literally watchable. Oh no! Kitties are snuggling with Andrea right now. My apologies. Oh man, Ben was so cute when we came home. He was meowing a lot and like rubbing up on us. And like Andrea did one of her saying she did an interview with a high school this morning. And 2 of the interviews she did from the stream office. And Ben came in while she was talking to the class. He had the companion cube in his mouth and he was pathetically meowing. Like, give me attention, I missed you. No kitties, they're really unwatchable. They were snuggling really hardcore last night. Usually if you shift a little bit, Ben's like, screw this, I'm out. He was in for the long haul. Hey, oh that's cool. I think he's in the same area in Harmony of Dissonance. So let's fight him something that's not totally bonkers busted. I guess unfortunately it's still the it's still gonna have to be the combat knife. It just does too much damage and attacks too fast for me to justify using anything else. Voice acting.
So, you've
Bad.
made it this far. In the name of your father, cease this foolishness.
Not while there's a breath in my body.
Then for the master, I'll feast on your soul this night.
Cool, man. Oh, I still have this spell up. Okay, just have to not cast it then. See, like, he still died basically instantly, just with the knife, so using the shield doesn't make that big of a difference. We just have a weapon that does a lot of damage, and the walk armor makes you take almost no damage. So it's really not that big of a difference to have this guy out. Soul's that tasty. I think they'd have a whole, like, system move, like restaurants where you could get souls. I think that should be a thing in Dark Souls as well, since it's the basic currency everyone wants. Get your souls all juice. Am I, though? I guess I haven't specifically farmed for levels. I killed a few of those Grand Knights, so I'm probably 4 or 5 levels higher than I normally would be. Since I guess normally you wouldn't be able to kill them, they take so long to fight. The walk armor is a big piece of it. It starts off fairly weak, but it's, like, yeah, much stronger even than the Alucard mail, which is supposed to be the best armor in the game. I wonder where most of that came from. I guess I don't usually avoid enemies. Let's see, I've never played Psychonauts or Story, Spec Ops, Link, Papers, Please, Prison Architect, Moxie, Banish, FTL, no, Crusader Kings. Let's summon the demon. Press that switch, buddy.
This switch hasn't been pressed yet.
Thanks, buddy. How are my familiars doing on level, by the way? Okay. So Ghost is the highest we can have. I don't know if it's actually that helpful to have. All the slaughters. Maybe I could make like a public... Oh, that's cool. I saw a crack in the wall there. Again, nothing actually interesting behind it. Power of Sire, Life Apple. Right. Don't you get... Wouldn't a lot of your max health not come from being leveled up, though? Chaos, isn't that from finding all the max HP vials in the game? I assume you get more max HP from that than leveling up. I have to look up like what the recommended level walkthrough is for fighting Dracula. Maybe how would know if I'm really over leveled or not. Anyway, I was about to say I might be able to make like a public spreadsheet if people want to throw games on there with their personal wish list to see me play. If you just want, because I think that a lot of people, whether they want to see me play it is pretty heavily influenced by whether it's a blind playthrough for me or not, right? So I could probably make it publicly editable and comment as to whether I played or not. God, that spell just lasts for freaking ever. It does run out eventually, but... Fast casual plays, right? That's like the Alucard sword. That should be awesome, right? And it's a decent attack, but I bet... Well, I can test it out really fast. I'm just curious how much damage it does. DPS with its attack speed. Oh, it's actually... Never mind. It actually comes out about as fast as the... Oh, was that a spell I just cast, or did that little warpy thing? How do I reproduce that? Oh, it's just a thing you can do with it. That's cool. It's slightly slower than the combat knife, but worth using over the combat knife. That's cool. Yeah. I already have a lot of like spreadsheets and things that I'm maintaining, so if I can keep that toned down would be good. Andrea joked that I should get an intern. I probably could. I could probably find like a high school student in Los Alamos. There's a lot of stuff I've learned about video editing and streaming software that you don't really realize that you're learning these skills as you're getting into streaming until you show somebody else. Like, oh yeah, I had to set up this crazy like filter to remove all the sounds of the PlayStation fan and the air conditioning and heating for my apartment. That was non-trivial. Yeah, if everyone has access to edit it, it shouldn't be too bad. It can probably help. So, like, if I offhandedly comment, yeah, I've never played that before, someone in Twitch chat could always go on the spreadsheet and just update it themselves. Yeah, right, Akifall. That's part of the fun of the job, though. I think if, for whatever reason, I ever do re-enter the traditional job market, like, there are a lot of bullet points I'll be able to put on there. There will not be a employment gap, right, from when I got laid off at Chase. So whenever I start looking for a new job, God forbid that happen. Wear a lot of hats as a Twitch streamer. $38, nice. I could pay an intern in pretzels and cheese if you fall. Yeah, right. Customer interaction, community management, video editing, project management, tech support. Oh, that's interesting. Screw these things, not worth fighting. I should watch through Seinfeld again. They just put the new season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which I think calling that Seinfeld on crack is pretty appropriate. We were watching through that. Maybe I get Andrea to watch Seinfeld after. Try to hold on to this stopwatch. I think we needed to progress from the center room. I'm not 100% sure. Whoa! Oh right, Spike Breaker armor. What's Awesome Knots? Haven't heard of that one either. I think that the spikes stay broken, so I can throw the walk armor back on. Blood skeleton, so spooky. Armor coins. 2D MOBA. Oh, interesting. Red bean. Whoa! Again, Mario Maker hallway. Be a fun place to use Soul Steel. All that for an elixir and a library card. Man, this game is very silly sometimes. I think that there's some level of catharsis just for discovering a secret. Like, you don't always have to have something amazing behind every secret, but I think it's important to... Let's see, I can phrase what I'm thinking here. Oh shit, I accidentally got rid of my stopwatch and tried to do it again on the way out here. I think it's important that the harder to find a secret is, you should have a proportional reward. Try to have something really cool. Zelda has that problem, especially the later Zeldas, where if rupees are pointless, most of your optional secret chests tend to have rupees in them, and you're like, oh great, more rupees. Hooray. You know. But then again, you can't make hundreds of secrets and have hundreds of really interesting things behind them, so it's a very hard problem to solve. I like SpongeBob. Who doesn't like SpongeBob? Tom Kenny, man. Are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain. I can't hear you. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? That's SpongeBob's house. God, crazy mage lady. Ice mage. Oh no, where's the stopwatch? Okay. It's one of these rooms, I think. Now I have it again, okay. Be very careful not to lose it, I'll keep my eye on it. Yeah, so like, it works in Link Between Worlds because you need rupees to buy all the items permanently and then upgrade them. So whenever you find rupees, it's exciting, I feel like. So you have some of those cool little optional dungeons that tend to have like a 300 rupee prize at the end. You're like, yeah, that felt good. Another cool solution is to have some kind of unique resource that's like the number of secrets you've found. So like a secret coin, maybe, that you can only ever find by looking behind fake walls and levels, and then having a merchant that sells you items based on how many of those you've found. That's a pretty good solution, I feel like. I could play it on Dolphin. I was using Dolphin for that. If I did GameCube, I'd have to do it over component cables anyway. It wouldn't look very good. Although I might make an excuse for that for those Super Famicom games. If I do the whole learn some Japanese by playing Japanese games on Twitch plan to figure out the logistics of that first. I would probably do that with the Famicom hooked up instead of using a Japanese ROM. Whoa, look at this dude. This dude's super gnarly looking. Ow. Just getting juggled between his legs here, no problem. Nothing y'all haven't seen before. Of course, the clock doesn't work. Generally doesn't work on bosses. It's a cool looking boss. I need to not let it hit me with that. What's that thing called? Staff lightning coming out of it? It's in Bloodborne. Starts with a T. Oh no! Don't get caught! Oh god, I'm gonna die in the corner. Alright, to avoid having to walk back, I'm gonna have to cheese it up here in a second. Let's get some healing. Oh wow, he's got a shit ton of hit points. I feel less bad about doing this. That would have taken forever. Tonitrus, that's the one. Later, Raker. Oh, is he the hardest in the game? Really? Is he meant to be like an optional super boss or something? It's amazing that I was only taking that much damage. Like, his main attacks were only doing 1 hit point of damage, but the lightning thing was pretty nasty. Do speedrunners bother with the Shield Rod Alucard shield combo? Is it even worth trying to get it? Cast Cloud. Oh, that's cool. So I do damage now when I'm in gaseous form. Yeah. Restores HP by fire damage. That's probably not ever going to come up. Find Dracula's eyes. Mummy, I think. 2 out of the way for a speedrun. Gotcha. Even given the value, it sounds like. Hold on one sec, folks. Done that before. Is it down from the center, maybe? I don't know if I fully explored that zone. Hot room. Might be, actually. See if I can get over there. There's a big section underneath the clock room that I haven't fully explored. I don't think I have a quick way to get there because I never got the warp. So, just pop. Do the warp rooms take you between the different castles, or do you have to be in the inverted castle for that warp room to? There's my words here. If I go to the, if I just keep cycling through warp rooms, will it eventually take me to the normal castle, or do you have to be in the right castle for the warp rooms to link to each other? They do when they do all bosses. How long is this game speedrun again? It can't be terribly long, right? Generally, Metroidvania is pretty short. Let's see if I can walk back to the clock room and then figure out where I want to go from there. Only warp you to the castle you're in. Okay. Thank you. Necklace of J. Who's J? Defense plus 5. That's actually pretty strong. But, well... Oh, seriously? Holy shit, 18 minutes. Wow. That's much faster than I thought it was going to be. Do they do glitches to get through the game that fast? Oh god, that must mean La Mulana main playthrough's gotta be... Oh, it's like 30 hours, isn't it? It's like from the voting spreadsheet. It's like the only game that's not an RPG that's in the long games category right now. Oh, it's with Richter. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Gotcha. I'm gonna use glitches. Sure. Moonwalking out of town. I know, right? Garbage. Yeah, I'm looking forward to La Mulana. I've heard that it has a lot of those, like, holy glasses moments, really bizarre puzzles that you need to walk through to look up, but that's okay. I don't think that makes the game bad. Just a different approach, level design. Oh, they're keeping it totally blind? Yeah, I'm not gonna stress too much about that. I'll probably just open La Mulana to... If you know something that will save time, you're welcome to speak up. I'm gonna do a long drop on the left there. It's a bit more. Or we'll set some kind of like puzzle time limit before people can just freely speak up. You know? I think we can probably still come in by the How Long to Beat Estimate. It's gonna be a little close. I still have to find one more organ, and I don't know where it is. I have an okay guess, but I think it's below the clock tower. You can always check the map if you get stuck for too long. Hold on, this might be Comcast. Throw on mute for a second. That was fun. So, I detailed my Comcast call a little bit in Discord. The short version is that we had this dropped frames issue. Pretty sure that it's a problem with the wiring in the apartment complex, but before they can do anything with the wiring in the apartment complex, they have to confirm that it's not a problem in my apartment specifically, like an issue with my modem or my cables or something. Fine, fair. Guy comes out January 1st, confirms that there is no problem in my apartment, and he says that we'll have to check the wires outside. I can't do that. I have to schedule a second tech to do that, and he'll do it while I'm away in Japan. Apparently that doesn't happen, because I call Comcast and they have no record of a second tech coming out here. So they're like, well, we're just going to schedule another tech to come out to your apartment and look at things. And I said, but help me out here. What's going to stop this tech that's coming out tomorrow from doing exactly the same thing, saying, well, it's not your apartment. Guess we have to schedule somebody to come outside, and then me knowing nothing about it. I'm like, well, okay, well, we'll schedule to have the technician call you back. And I said, that would be great. He was super competent. I would just like to talk to him again and find out what his plan was, if he actually scheduled somebody. Let me talk to the same guy. And that's who I thought was calling me back just a moment ago, but it wasn't the technician. It was someone else in the call center whose job it is to return calls. So, like, really it's just everyone in the department is trying really hard to get me off the phone as fast as possible with whatever solution they think will work to get me to hang up. And like, oh, I'll have them call you back was one of those solutions. Now I'm not their problem anymore. Fingers crossed. We do have somebody coming out tomorrow. I'm going to try to get their personal private phone numbers so I can follow up if anything needs to be done outside. I am reproducing the issue again, so hopefully that will help.
You have done well in making it this far. I would expect no less from the son of our master.
That's me.
So you are the one who was controlling Belmont?
Yes.
Shaft was a
The dark
big boss
priest
in
called
Rondo of Blood.
Shaft. This world must be cleansed in the forge of chaos.
I am the dark priest called
Why
Shaft.
did you make Belmont lord of this castle?
Because I'm a dick.
For centuries, vampire
Does he beat
hunters
me up?
have defeated evil with holy power. But if two vampire hunters were to fight each other,
But Belmont's power is supreme among vampire hunters. None other could defeat him.
exactly. That's why I removed
Oh, and
him
the voice
as a
acting is
threat
bad and
by
the
making
localization.
him into lord of this castle.
But your plan has failed.
Has it indeed? We'll see what happens after I destroy your weak human side.
That sounds funny, Six Gun. The Shaft fight in Rondo of Blood was actually really cool. I was pretty impressed with it. I don't use a stopwatch for shit. My defense is so high that nothing damages me because of the walk armor. That was only about,
You claim to love
10
the
seconds
darkness.
longer than using the
Go
Alucard
then and
shield.
dwell there for all eternity.
But my goal is achieved. Count Dracula has come to purify
Oh, wow, Six
this
Gun.
corrupt world with the searing flames of chaos.
Searing Flames of Chaos hype. I know, right? Chaos. It's like even the one that I'm using that I'm holding back with technically is still super strong.
Father,
Well met, my son. It's been a long time.
I was hoping we would not see each other again. I can't allow you to leave here, Father.
Such a cool
Ever beneath
sprite in the
eye of
background there.
humans. Have you forgotten what they did to your mother?
Think you I would forget such a thing? No.
Think you?
But neither do I seek revenge against them.
Still uttering the same nonsense. No matter. Now is the time to put aside your weak human side and join me in remaking this world!
Dracula, in the name of my mother, I will defeat you again.
Cool. Parallax background. Oh, this is kind of like the That was pretty neat. Having him in the background there. They did that with Death and Rondo of Blood as well. It's such a cool looking sprite. Like, he still gets his little throne, it looks like. Whoa. I like that little port spell with the Alucard sword. It's really cool. Don't stand in the shrine. That stopwatch, not doing shit. Oh, did he, like, eat the succubus? Never actually seen... I think I've only ever cheesed this guy with the Alucard shield, so I haven't seen any of his fight mechanics. There we go.
Go back whence you came.
Die,
Trouble
monster!
the soul of my mother no more.
You don't belong in this world.
How? How is it that I've been so defeated?
You have been doomed ever since you lost the ability to love.
Right.
Sarcasm. For what profit is it to a man if he gains the world and loses his own soul? Matthew 16:26, I believe.
I'm just gonna triple ellipsis that Bible verse.
What were Lisa's last words?
He's really good at being
She
defeated.
said, do not hate humans. If you cannot live with them, then at least do them no harm. For theirs is already a hard lot. She also said to tell you that she would love you for all of eternity.
Aww.
Lisa, forgive me.
So apparently Dracula was less of an asshole for a while? I think that was while he was a vampire that he was with Lisa, right? It's not the Matthias story, the origin story from Lament of Innocence. I know, right, Yukupo? It's great. And then they give us this 3D cutscene, which actually looks worse than the rest of the game. If they had done it with sprite art, it would look way better. I am the dark priest called Shaft. Talk about Shaft. Damn through. That again, Chaos? Oh, okay. Got it.
So you made it.
Alucard, I'm glad you're all right.
I'm sorry. 'Tis my fault you had to fight your own father.
Fear not. I had my own reasons for destroying him.
It must have been painful for you.
Indeed. But you must always remember that the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.
Edmund Burke.
I understand.
Alucard, what will you do now?
The blood that flows in my veins is cursed. 'Twould be best for this world if I were to disappear forever.
I see.
I see.
Farewell then. We'll not meet again.
So this.
Alucard?
Don't you want to go after him, Maria?
No, it's best this way. I can't ease his torment. Someday, perhaps, we will meet again. And on that day, maybe.
I see.
Let's go. Everyone's waiting for us.
Yes, let's get out of here.
I know literally nothing about Edmund Burke other than that quote. What else should we know about him, Six God? Oh, I forgot about this end credits song.
I see.
I see.
I see. I see. I see.
I see. I see.
I see.
I see.
I've always
Michael G. Got that snare tap. Programmers. I know, right, Kevin? It comes out of nowhere. It's great. It's interesting, though. I think this is probably the... How do you phrase it? My point is that it's a really high-quality game. It's amazing, but it's extremely unpolished, right? It's like Mass Effect 1. It's an amazing game. Very unpolished. But some of it's polished. Like, the sprite art is amazing. There's way more effort put into it than was anywhere near necessary. Awesomeness to polish ratio is wonky. No, I didn't, Propagable. Is it which Discord is it in? Let's check that out. Contacting both conservatism, Roxy government. Interesting. What's that? Yeah, a little bit.
Oh.
Nope.
Congratulations, you beat
Hooray!
Like, can you play that song from that really short game?
Oh. Yeah. Burn the rope.
Burn the rope, yeah!
Managed to... It's like the end credits song is longer than the game. My wife, Andrea.
You just play it.
Burn the rope
And sing the song. You made it through the tunnel.
The one tunnel. No, I think people should play the game. I'll give it. See if I can find it. It's on Congregate. This game is like 3 minutes long. You should play it. I'm giving it away that the end credits song is longer than the game. But
it's still
pull up
very
another tab while we
enjoyable.
watch these credits. And
Hey everyone,
yeah.
yes, I had a lovely nap. Ben was with me.
Oh, that's where Ben is.
Yeah.
The cat cam, like, where's the cats? Literally unwatchable. So they're probably snuggling with Andrea because they miss her.
Yeah, Marty's up on the
Cat thing.
yeah, by the window. Yeah, it's funny because the kids were like, "Oh, I heard you had a cat." Because Ben came in for the second one and was like being really loud. He's like, "Meow, meow." I'm like, "Oh my god, I think I'm like this weird cat lady," which I am. But yeah,
I'm the cat lady.
try and keep it together, right?
But did you?
But then anyway, so then I was sitting on the couch and so I picked him up and showed him, but then the other class wanted to see my cats too. So Marty was sitting on the thing, so I just moved the camera. So here's Marty.
Yeah, man. Folks for talent booking. Exactly. This game has some pretty famously bad voice acting. Die, monster! You don't belong in this world.
Monster. That's rude. No wonder they're angry.
You steal men's souls. Can't the same be said of all religions?
That's in this game?
Yeah.
Wow.
The important perk of being a scientist is getting a cat.
Yeah, they did. They asked me, cats or dogs. And I said, the cats are great because you can just leave them for a week.
Yeah.
But dogs are always happy to see you.
I like my way of phrasing it now, which is that I like other people's dogs.
Yep. And you like our cats.
And I like your own cats, having your own cats. Alright, we'll be back in a few minutes, guys, with Castlevania Circle of the Moon.